This is Adam Watson.
This is Tranny Watson.
We're going to be taking a look at a comic that's a calendar or a calendar that's a comic. It can be either. Maybe it's not a calendar at all, but it's comic in a calendar form. Tick by Kenan Rubenstein. Not sure exactly how to say the name. This is something I picked up at Cosmic Monkey Comics a while back. So this isn't paid advertisement, but Cosmic is one of the retailers that we do business with through Comics Mainstream. Even if they weren't, though, I would say if you're in Portland, Oregon, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't go to buy a Cosmic. They have a huge selection of comics, graphic novels, and not just mainstream stuff. If you're looking for things that are out of the ordinary, like Tick, for instance, Cosmic is definitely your place to go.
They have a huge backlog of comics.
Yeah. So this was published in 2007. And it looks like all of the artwork was done by Kenan. I don't see any other names in the artwork, but it was published by Boy Blue Productions. It starts off in the month of January, as calendars should. And it definitely has a calendar type feel to it. He's even ripping apart calendars in this page.
Showing important dates for everything that's to come.
Yeah, definitely an artist. There's a lot of solitariness in this.
I'd like to point out like all of the stippling in this, however you say the form, that art form. The shading and everything is
Pointillism,
really good.
stippling.
Yeah, pointillism. And like the hard blacks in this, you'll be able to see in later pages, is very well done.
Yeah, so as we move through, he's throwing a scarf out in the woods, and then it's caught by somebody who's apparently him. There is a girl making a snowman. And it looks like making it with maybe a younger version of himself.
No, I'm not
That's
sure
not how you read that?
No, because I think these are just two like kids out in the woods that he's like trying to take some kind of inspiration from.
It could be. It could be that he's just drawing. Oh, you're right, because there's two up there. Okay. Yeah. So the scarf has like a Frosty the Snowman type thing, though, because they put it on. It's his scarf that they put on the snowman. And then he starts designing a mechanical man. So it's in the month of February, and then it moves to March.
I love the different art style for the other boy. It is like a mix between Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda art style and Jonan Safar, I believe is how you say his name, Joan Safar.
Okay, who's that?
He does the artwork for the graphic novel of The Little Prince, and also he does artwork. I don't know if he does a story for The Rabbi's Cat. I believe that's the name of the story.
Yeah, I love that comic.
It's a very abstract art style in it. It's
Rabbi's Cat's great. We should take a look at that at some point.
This is like the art that he's using for this is very reminiscent of that. I don't know if it's inspired, but it looks similar.
In any case, he needs a wind up to actually start up his animatronic man here. And this is actually the first time that there's any words in this. There's very, very few words that actually take place in this comic, most of which are just ticks coming from the animatronic man. They're the same person right away because he tells him he can't start his day without tea and that he needs to too because they're the same.
At first, when I read this, I thought that he was like a child, but then I saw this with all of his stubble and everything, and I'm not sure what age they're actually supposed to be.
I'd say like early 20s, something like that.
Yeah.
And then we move on to April, where he lives is still snowy in April. It's definitely not here. But the animatronic man and the artist, I don't know what his name actually is, making snow angels, doing things like that. I like the way that he drew the plants coming up from the snow. That looks really good.
How he's he's melting away. I love
this
panel
actually
much.
we should mention that. So as it's warming up in April,
down his death.
Right, the pages are moving through April. It's getting warmer, and apparently he's melting away. I didn't get that at first. I really did not understand exactly why he was melting away, but the animatronic is still fine. But as you can see, there's little ticks showing every time he's there, which is where it gets the name from, tick.
I thought it was like a ticking time clock because the
Yeah, tick, tick,
representation
tick.
for time. Yeah.
Well, that is a representation of time, but it's
True.
also the ticking that the key is making because it needs to be wound up.
Yeah.
So then into May, it gets a little bit more chaotic here, but the chaos really works because the animatronic is doing all these things that the other guy who melted for some reason would do, but it's in more of like a chaotic order, like he's all alone.
Yeah, it's like separated almost like it would be by days on a calendar.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And then it moves to July. It skips over June completely. And he's still going about his day to day doing all this summertime work. But the clock is ticking down. He only has so long on that wind up. And then moves to September from July. And same sort of thing. It's got this whole chaotic element. This would not necessarily work in a lot of comics. I think the larger printing, where it's printed at like calendar size, because this thing is actually the size of like a standard calendar, if not slightly bigger. So with that extra canvas space, it allows them more room to really experiment with all these things. I don't think you could experiment quite like this on a normal comic page. If you're doing a standard like 6.625 by 10.5 comic that you did broken down as a calendar, you wouldn't be able to do these many panels. Too much stuff would be lost.
Yeah, and I think it really helps that it's all just black and white, and there's so much, like, there's a brilliant use of, like, heavy blacks and everything in some of the panels.
Yeah, like right here where it's just a little bit of snowfall. That kind of reminds me of Sin City to a degree.
Yeah.
When Frank Miller's drawing the snow. It works really well, though. You know, anytime that you just color the whole thing black and just leave a few little empty spaces for the snow, it works really well. It also works really well when he does it like that, where it's actually like the window looks cold.
Yeah, with, like, the heavy environment in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks really good. I like that. But as you can see, he's got the scarf that the other version wore earlier. And December comes around, and he rebuilds the snowman version out in the snow. But looks like he's hesitant to actually give him the scarf.
Because once he does, his time is over.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, because one can't exist with while the other does.
It's not the way I read it, because when you look at the end, the last page, whoosh, the scarf goes around his neck, he comes back to life, and then he grabs the winder and starts winding him up. So now he's going to live again for at least this time frame, and it's going to repeat all over again. So we have January all over again.
True.
So they keep going through, living. The snowman needs the TikTok man. The TikTok man needs the snowman.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought that was a really cool comic. Really interesting. I've never seen a calendar done as a comic or a comic done as a calendar before, so that was something new. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's a very interesting premise. What it has in it was done in a very interesting way.
Yeah, it shows you ways that you can expand on the medium. You don't have to just be stuck to the standard size comics. That's not necessary. Of course, you are going to get less retail shelf space if you make stuff like this. There might be shops, you know, like Cosmic obviously sold this, for instance. There might be shops who are willing to dedicate that kind of space, but when Jeff Smith published Razzle, his oversized softcovers, he said many times that he did those for himself and that retailers actually complained about him because they don't necessarily have the shelf space for trade paperbacks that are oversized. Well, this is saddle stitch, it's stapled. So that's an even harder sell to a lot of retailers, but I'm glad that there are retailers who will take chances on stuff like this because honestly, we need more experimentation in comics.
Yeah.
And this is a great example of how you can experiment with comics and be very successful with your story. Anything else?
I don't have any more remarks on it.
All right. Well, like and subscribe. We're going to be posting more videos that do deep dives into Dark Slinger comics, stuff that's distributed by Comics Mainstream. This is not distributed by Comics Mainstream, sadly. As well as taking a look at comics We have nothing to do with the publishing or distribution of, such as Tick by Kenan Rubenstein. Did you know that in addition to distributing comics through newsstand distribution and direct distribution, Comics Mainstream also does fulfillment services? Case in point, we just finished fulfilling the Kickstarter for issue number 3 of Purity by Nick Capone. Seen here is the Courtney Rose Dameron cover. Nick currently has a Kickstarter going for issue number 1 with a brand new cover by Courtney Rose Dameron. You can look for it on Kickstarter, a few days left. Interested in talking about fulfillment for your next Kickstarter campaign? Get in contact with us. In addition to fulfilling orders for Kickstarters, we can also fulfill your eBay, Mercari, Patreon, Indiegogo, or just your general shipments that you want to do. It's a great solution to anybody who's currently being affected by the tariffs, which everybody in the whole world seems to be. So if you're a publisher who lives in, say, Japan or Canada, Australia, wherever, and you want to print up some copies in the US and have a US-based fulfillment center sending them out, we can warehouse copies at our secure warehouse location and send things out usually within 24 hours. You can contact us at comicsmainstream@gmail.com. Contact us through our website, www.comicsmainstream.com. Send us a private message through Facebook, Instagram. We're not on Twitter anymore, but we're pretty much everywhere else.